Today I'm going to talk about a thing I like to talk about most. Disney, yeah! I was tagged by my friend Kaylee in the Disney tag. It doesn't have a name, it's just a Disney tag. First question, a scene in any Disney movie you wish you could experience. I'm gonna copy Kaylee on this one and say the lantern scene in Tangled because it's beautiful and amazing, and I would love to have Zachary Levi sing to me on a boat in the middle of a lake. An unforgettable experience or moment you had in the Disney parks. My favorite Disney park experience was actually one I had earlier this year. It was when we were all in Disneyland for VidCon, and David and I had only bought a Disneyland park pass, and so we said, okay, we bought this pass, we're gonna stay in Disneyland all freaking day. And we did. We were in Disneyland for like 18 hours. But towards the end of the day, we were standing in line for the Matterhorn because we had fast passed everything else. The Matterhorn had a 45-minute wait, but we had to go on the Matterhorn because it was a stinking Matterhorn. We were standing in a group. It was me, David, Tim, Monica, Dan, and Cassie, and I think that was the group. Correct me if I'm wrong. These two girls came up to us and they handed us this piece of paper and they're like, you're a group of 6 people. Here, take this. And we're like, okay. And we open it, and it's one of those skip to the front of the line passes, like for people who are handicapped or special. And it was some name that was like this weird French name, and it pains me that I can't remember it. But it was good until August 28th, and it was June at the time, and this pass was really beat up. So this was clearly a pass someone had got and had passed it around to large groups of people. And so we got this pass, it was like 8 o'clock at night, and from then on, we went on every single ride. We did all of Fantasyland in like a half an hour, and it was fantastic. And the next day we gave it to Kaylee and Liam, and they left it on a bench, and it's now in better hands. When was the first time you went to a Disney park? The first time I went to a Disney park, I was probably 2, and I remember distinctly because my dad dragged me on the Matterhorn because he told me it would be a fun ride, and I was scarred probably until I was about 16 years old and I could go on the Matterhorn again, and now it's one of my favorite rides. If you could choose any Disney character to be your best friend, who would it be? I personally would like a little Pascal from Tangled, her little chameleon friend. I love the Disney animal companions, and Pascal is adorable and hilarious, and I would like one, please. Thank you. Who are your favorite Disney princesses? My favorite Disney princesses are Tiana, because she's a sassy and independent woman, and I love Merida, who is now in the Disney Princess lineup. Name a scene or moment in a Disney movie that never fails to make you cry. So I have probably never actually cried due to a Disney movie. Pixar is a totally different story, but I've never actually cried during a Disney movie. A moment that makes me feel a lot of emotions is in The Little Mermaid when she runs downstairs because Scuttle tells her that her and Eric are gonna get married, and she sees Eric with another woman who's Ursula disguised. And there's this moment where she looks at them and then she turns around away from them, and she's lying against this pillar, and she does this little movement with her hands that's so incredibly human. And it's one of my favorite moments in character animation because it's so real for an animated mermaid princess. And I watched that scene so many times, and every single time I am encapsulated by how real they've made this character. What is the first Disney movie you remember seeing in theaters? I'm pretty sure my parents had taken me to see movies before this, but the first movie I remember seeing in theaters is Hercules. And last but not least, what is your favorite Disney movie? So for the survey, if you've noticed, I've left out Pixar. I've only stuck to the Disney canon because if we were to include Pixar, this would be a whole different survey. But my favorite film produced by Disney Animation Studios, my top 3 right now, because it changes all the time, Princess and the Frog, The Little Mermaid, and Tangled. I usually wouldn't say Tangled, but I've been watching a lot of Tangled lately, and I know most people, because I'm such a Disney brick, would think I would pick something like, Ichabod and Mr. Toad, or Robin Hood, which I do like those films, but there's something about those classic Disney princess films that I literally have watched Tangled 3 times within the past week. Anyway, this survey is pretty much open to anybody. Disney things are really fun, but specifically I'm going to tag my friend Megan because I know she is also a huge Disney person. I don't want to say nerd because it's not a nerdy thing. And I'd love to hear her talk about this. And Cassie, because she wanted to be tagged in a video. And anyone else who really wants to do this survey. That's such a cop-out, but anyone else who wants to do the survey, I'd love to post them as video response. I'd love to watch them. I'd love to talk about them. And if you don't feel like making a video, just answer the questions in the comments below. We can just have a little chat, talk it up, have some fun. Because you just listened to me talk about Disney for a full video again, I'm sorry. I want to remind you again that I do a Disney podcast with my boyfriend David. It's called Ink and Paint Club. We don't just talk about Disney, we talk about other animated films or other Disney films. We just did Rise of the Guardians, and next up we're doing Ichabod and Mr. Toad. So lots of fun Disney animation talk times. I'll put a link down below for you to check it out. And I guess until next time, later days or something.